Imagine you're taking a hike on a new trail. Suddenly, you are flooded with the strong feeling that you have been on this path before. You try to remember where and when you might have had this experience in the past, but can't quite put a finger on it. Turns out you're not the only one. According to the Cleveland Clinic, approximately 97% of people have had this sensation before, and you might have already known what this feeling is called from one of Olivia Rodrigo's songs. Déjà vu. But why does this happen? Is it something serious? Well, it's actually one big misunderstanding. Welcome to the Thought Waterfall Podcast. I'm your host Sharvi, and let's jump right into our episode today. First of all, what even is déjà vu? Is it a way to see into the future? Though it's sadly not the case, déjà vu is a feeling of familiarity you get while experiencing something that you know you couldn't have experienced before. You may feel like you have gone through the exact same activity or conversation earlier in your life, but will not be able to remember where and when it actually happened. But let's go back to our question. Why does déjà vu happen in the first place? Well, there are a couple of reasons as to why we get this feeling. One of the simplest answers to why déjà vu happens is because you have experienced a similar memory beforehand, but don't remember the majority of the experience at the top of your head. Although you yourself can't recall that resembling memory, your brain still knows it's there in your mind somewhere, ultimately giving you a feeling that you have experienced that activity before. It's kind of like walking into a room and thinking, have I been here before? When in reality, you have only experienced a similar room with a similar layout, but never seen this exact same one that you are standing in now. Another common theory is split perception. This is when you see something for the first time out of the corner of your eye or when you are distracted. However, the second time you see the same thing, you may feel familiar about it, but will not remember seeing the thing before because you didn't give it your complete attention the first time. This happens because after your brain witnesses an event, whether it may be out of the corner of your eye or not, it begins to create a memory of it, even with limited information. Since you still have that memory of an event, you may get déjà vu when you see that event a second time, although you don't remember seeing it before or the first time around. Or, like I said in the beginning, déjà vu could be triggered because of a misunderstanding within the brain. When your brain first makes a memory, it stores the information in the short-term memory section of your brain, which is only for temporary thoughts. If your brain thinks that that memory is an important piece of information, it will get sent to long-term memory, which is where you will be able to recall that information whenever you need it in the future. But when déjà vu strikes, a memory that recently happened could accidentally get sent to long-term memory without going to short-term memory first. Imagine you walk into a new cafe that you haven't been to before, and your brain makes a memory. But instead of going to the short-term section, the memory goes to long-term. A second later, when you look at the shop again, you might think, haven't I been here before? Even though you haven't. This happens because since memories in long-term have usually been there for extensive time, your brain thinks that the memory that skipped short-term is old and happened in the past, ultimately making you feel like an experience has happened before. Now, you may notice a common theme in all of these causes. The brain tricks you into thinking an event has already happened. But is this supposed to be normal? In most cases, yes. Most people experience déjà vu every now and then, and it's very common in people ages 15 to 25. Other factors like increased stress and sensory overload may contribute to your likeliness of experiencing déjà vu, but it's usually nothing to worry about. However, if déjà vu occurs frequently and starts to take control of your life, it would be best to consult your doctor and check for any underlying health conditions. And this just goes to show really how complex and unpredictable our brains can be. Déjà vu is just one of its many secrets, and it makes you think. If our brains can create illusions that make us question ourselves, it can pretty much do anything. Well, that's it for today's episode. To recap, déjà vu is a sensation that makes you feel as if you have experienced an event before, even though you physically have not. There are several theories to why this phenomenon even happens, ranging from simple memory resemblances to malfunctions within the brain. But fortunately, déjà vu is completely harmless in the majority of cases, and it's just a trick that your brain occasionally plays on you. And that brings us to the end of our podcast today. Once again, I'm your host Sharvi, and thank you so much for listening to the Thought Waterfall Podcast. I hope you learned something new, and remember, you are truly capable of unlocking your potential, one thought at a time.